Let's get right into it. Part 1, The Disappearance of the Roanoke Colony. Okay, so picture this, 1587. A group of English settlers land on Roanoke Island in what's now North Carolina. They get a little ambitious, set up shop, and then boom, the colony vanishes into thin air. Poof, no trace, no Facebook status update, no tweet, nothing. Now, before you start thinking this sounds like an early episode of Survivor gone wrong, let me tell you, it's way weirder than that. The only clue the settlers left behind was the word Croatoan carved into a tree. For centuries, historians, archaeologists, and even amateur detectives have tried to crack the mystery. Were they kidnapped by Native Americans? Did they just leave and start over somewhere else? Did they vanish into another dimension? Dun dun dun. The fact that this one's never been solved just makes it so much more fun to speculate about. Maybe they all decided to join a secret cult. Maybe they were abducted by aliens who didn't even bother with the whole take me to your leader thing. Whatever happened, it's a good reminder. Don't move to a mysterious island and then forget to leave a proper note for future generations. Part 2, The Mystery of the Dyatlov Pass Incident. Now let's get cold, really cold. The Dyatlov Pass incident is one of those unsolved mysteries that sends chills down your spine, literally. In 1959, a group of 9 experienced hikers in the Soviet Union set out for a trekking adventure in the Ural Mountains. They never came back. But when their bodies were found, well, it wasn't your run-of-the-mill accident scene. Some hikers had their eyes gouged out, others were missing their tongues. Some were in such a state of disarray it was like they'd been, well, let's say attacked by an animal, but there were no tracks or signs of a creature. Oh, and did I mention they were found without shoes in freezing temperatures? There are theories galore, a Yeti attack, a military test gone wrong, or even a psychological breakdown of the hikers that led to them doing some seriously strange things. But the fact remains, it was one bizarre, creepy, and totally unexplained event. Maybe they all just decided to get a head start on the Russian winter fashion show, or, maybe it was something far darker. Part 3, The Taos Hum. Have you ever had that experience where you're sitting in a room, doing absolutely nothing, and then bam, you start hearing a low hum that you can't explain? That's what thousands of residents in Taos, New Mexico report hearing, except it's not a mild hum. No, it's a bone-rattling, eerie, low-frequency buzz that they just can't shake off. And no, it's not the neighbors throwing a rave. What's more freaky is that only a small percentage of people seem to hear it. Most people totally oblivious. So, is it some kind of government experiment, an alien broadcast, or perhaps the sound of the Earth itself complaining about the Wi-Fi scientists have never been able to pin down the source of the hum and the mystery only grows? I mean, how hard is it to find the origin of a hum, right? I mean, it's not like a UFO just zooms in every night to make noise. Then again, I wouldn't put it past them. Maybe the aliens were just trying to start a new trend in sound therapy. Part 4, The Bermuda Triangle. The Bermuda Triangle. If you've never heard of this legendary patch of ocean that swallows ships and planes, whole congratulations, you're living a blessed life. But for the rest of us, we know that the Bermuda Triangle is like the ultimate invitation to confusion, panic, and mystery. It's like a cosmic whodunit with no answers. Let's talk numbers. Since the 1950s, over 1,000 planes and ships have disappeared within this notorious stretch of sea. What's their crime? Who knows? Are they victims of strange magnetic fields that mess with navigational instruments? Aliens trying to create the ultimate fish tank? Or maybe it's just a bunch of bad luck with bad GPS systems. There's been everything from underwater military testing to freak weather phenomena to downright weird paranormal theories. But hey, if you ask me, the Bermuda Triangle is just a giant metaphor for the randomness of life itself. And who knows, maybe the next plane that disappears is just looking for the ultimate vacation spot. A mysterious island in the middle of nowhere. Part 5, The Voynich Manuscript. If you've ever wanted to feel totally, utterly confused, just try reading The Voynich Manuscript. It's a book that has baffled linguists, historians, and cryptographers for centuries. Written in a completely unknown script, it's filled with bizarre illustrations of plants, animals, and even naked alien-looking creatures. The manuscript's origins are a mystery. Nobody knows who wrote it, where it came from, or even what the heck it says. It's like the world's most puzzling crossword puzzle, but with no clues, no rules, and no idea how to solve it. Some have suggested that it's an elaborate hoax, while others believe it's some kind of lost ancient language or code. Maybe it's just a very elaborate doodle session gone rogue. It's one of those great mysteries that makes you want to throw your hands up and just accept that some things are too weird to understand. But let's face it, if you're ever in a situation where you need to decode a book full of strange cryptic symbols, you might want to brush up on your alien languages. Part 6, The Man in the Iron Mask. The Man in the Iron Mask. I'm sure you've heard the legend, right? A mysterious prisoner forced to wear an iron mask to hide his identity. For years, his story has captured imagination, sparked conspiracy theories, and driven people to ask, who was he? Some say he was the brother of King Louis XIV of France. Others argue that he was a political rival to the king or even a disgraced aristocrat. Whatever the truth, one thing's clear, the man's identity was locked away tighter than that mask. It's like the world's most exclusive VIP club, but with way more intrigue, mystery, and zero Instagram photos to prove it. The mystery surrounding his identity has sparked countless theories, books, and films. But here's the thing, what if the truth is even stranger than any of the theories? Maybe he was just the world's worst roommate who refused to take his mask off during dinner. Or maybe he was a time traveler from the future trying to keep his face hidden from the past. Part 7, The Lost City of Atlantis. You didn't think we were going to skip the most famous lost city in history, did you, Atlantis? The grand mythical civilization that supposedly sank into the ocean thousands of years ago, leaving no trace except for a few tantalizing hints scattered across ancient texts. Plato first wrote about it in the 4th century BCE, describing it as a powerful empire full of advanced technology and incredible wealth. The question is, did it actually exist? And if so, where did it go? Some theories say it's buried under the Mediterranean Sea, while others suggest it could be located in the Caribbean or even Antarctica. Some even think it was all just a metaphor for a society that fell due to its own hubris. Let's be real, Atlantis is the ultimate example of people wishing there was some lost city to discover. I mean, who doesn't want to stumble upon an ancient treasure chest filled with riches? But for now, it's a mystery that will remain unsolved, unless of course you plan on diving into the middle of the ocean in search of a city that may or may not have existed. Just don't forget your snorkel. Part 8, The Zodiac Killer. Serial killers are creepy enough, but what makes the Zodiac Killer extra unsettling is the fact that he loved playing mind games. Between 1968 and 1969, this person terrorized Northern California with a series of brutal murders. But what made this case stand out wasn't just the killings, it was the taunting letters he sent to the press and police full of cryptic ciphers and strange codes that he claimed were keys to his identity. He wanted to be famous, and he certainly succeeded in that. Even after decades of investigations, the Zodiac Killer was never caught. The case remains one of the most infamous unsolved mysteries in criminal history. Despite advances in forensic technology and the relentless work of amateur detectives, the killer's identity remains a haunting enigma. Was he just another crazy person, a genius at playing games with the public, or could he be hiding in plain sight, laughing at us from the shadows? One thing's for sure, he's not in a rush to get caught. But hey, if you're feeling particularly daring, you could always start a true crime podcast and jump into the investigation yourself. Just remember to use your best detective voice. You know who you are. Part 9, The Somerton Man, aka the Tamam Shud case. Let's talk about one of the creepiest cases of all time, the Somerton Man. This one's like a puzzle wrapped in a mystery, dipped in an unsolvable riddle. In 1948, a man's body was found on Somerton Beach in Adelaide, Australia. There was no identification on him, no obvious cause of death, and no one could figure out who he was. But here's where it gets weird. In the pocket of his pants, a scrap of paper was found with the words Tamam Shud printed on it, which is Persian for ended or finished. And this clue led to a copy of a book of poetry, one that was tucked inside a car near the beach. Now I know what you're thinking, this all sounds like the beginning of a Dan Brown novel, right? But in reality, no one has ever figured out what it all means. The book contained more mysterious codes that led investigators absolutely nowhere. The case has everything. Secret messages, a random dead guy with no ID, an unsolved cipher, and enough intrigue to make you wonder if someone really is trying to leave us all a trail of breadcrumbs, or maybe just laughing at us as we try to decode the madness. Did he stumble across a secret spy network? Was it a suicide, or are we looking at a case of bad luck with a seriously confusing book club? Part 10, The Beale Ciphers. Alright, if you love treasure hunts, then you've probably heard of the Beale Ciphers, the ultimate quest for riches that's still waiting for someone to crack it open. In 1819, a man named Thomas Beale allegedly buried a treasure in Virginia worth millions of dollars in gold, silver, and jewels. But here's the kicker. Beale left behind 3 ciphers supposedly with the key to the treasure's location. One of the ciphers has been solved, yea, revealing a bunch of coordinates and general information, but the other 2, completely unsolved. The second cipher supposedly explains the contents of the treasure, and the third one is said to be the actual location of the treasure itself. Now don't get too excited just yet. These ciphers have been the subject of intense investigation for centuries and no one has found the treasure. So what's the deal? Are the other 2 ciphers impossible to solve? Did Beale just want to mess with us for fun, or is there really a treasure buried somewhere out there in the hills of Virginia just waiting for the right person to crack the code? My bet is on the latter, but until someone solves it, we're all left wondering if we should start a treasure hunting reality show just for the drama of it all. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.